What's up, fam? Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. So tonight we have a trio of prototypes from Jacob Lundquist, two Kansepts, and a CJRB. We're going to go ahead and just jump right through these guys. Again, they're prototypes, so I don't know a whole lot about them. I don't know what kind of price points, things of that nature. I can only assume you're going to be looking at a little budget button lock here, and then a couple of higher end knives from Kansept. So we'll jump right into the cheaper of the three here, and actually, kind of shockingly, the one that I like the best. So this is the CJRB version. This thing is a little button lock beast. Honestly, I think this is going to do really well for CJRB. I'm really excited about this one. This is one I might actually pick up. I can imagine that they'll probably do a higher end version of it because you do have the capability of doing the inlays here in carbon fiber. And I can only assume that they would also have the ability to run this as a titanium frame instead of the steel here. So it is a steel frame from what I can understand, from what I feel here. Let me just see. Yeah, so we have a steel frame, and then G10 inlays, and then this is ARPM 9 steel. It does say prototype there, you can see. And then Jacob Lundquist's designer logo there. A really cool little drop point blade hole design. It's got a really good front flipper on it that's easily rolled. Easy to use for front flipper as well, but it just rolls over really easy. It's a really fun knife to fidget with. Really do actually like this. I'm only going to assume it's probably going to be in that $50 price point if I had to make a guess from CJRB. Something along the lines of the standard pyrite. A few things I would change on this little guy. So I like that it's pretty much you just instantly go into that choke up grip, but when you do, you're landing on the flat of the blade. There's no jimping up here for you. So I would like to see that jimping moved up. I realize that they can't really use this deeper jimping up here, so maybe if they just change the jimping altogether and move that jimping up just a little bit with some thinner jimping to give you that that security up here on the top of the blade. Outside of that, that's really the only thing I'd change about this little knife. It's I think it's a fantastic little design. Like I said, it works really well. It's comfortable. Yeah, it's really not a whole lot to hate about it, not a whole lot to talk about on it. We'll go ahead and jump in to taking a look at the blade really quickly. So it does have that CJRB stonewash on it. Typical CJRB branding. And it is a plunge lock knife. Which you guys know with the pyrite that these guys can do a really good job of that. T6 and T8 hardware. So you got T6 hardware there on the insert or on the inlay. T8 body screws, T6 pocket clip screws. It's not an inset clip, and it is, but it looks, oh wait, it is lefty friendly, so you can flip this around. So kudos to them on that. We are looking at a double-sided pivot, which gives me pause. You guys know I hate non-captive pivots. So hopefully it is captive. It just shows the tooling on both sides. Blade itself is really well done. Again, these are prototypes, so I don't know how far along they are. Really nice full hollow grind on this thing. Of course, plenty of room for sharpening because of that. You don't have to worry about anything. You'll be able to sharpen the hell out of this thing. Not having anything to worry about. That plunge grind is done phenomenally well. Look how quickly that terminates. So really great job on that plunge grind. Sharpening is done pretty well. Looks like we've got a little bit of a kind of an off grind there, but you can see that it's not a big deal. A little bit of difference there in the blade finish and everything, but the actual tip itself looks to be straight. So a pretty cool little design here from Jacob. Your specs, I don't have any specs on it, so we'll have to get those here. So you're looking at right at a 2-inch cutting edge, 2.5-inch blade-ish. It's a little bit longer than 2.5 inches. And then right at about a 6.25 inch overall. Small guy. Let's see, I don't need to bring the scale on here so you guys can see it, but we're looking at a 3-ounce knife, which isn't terrible for a steel frame button lock. So you do have a little bit heavier. You know, if they did titanium, it would be a little bit lighter, or even doing an aluminum would work as well. So, you know, I'm sure, like I said, I don't know how far along they are in the production of this knife. But this one here, like I said, I'm really excited about this. I would like to see them do potentially a premium version of it, because it is a small enough knife. I think you could make a premium version and it still be relatively affordable. Yeah, cool little knife. I like this one. This is one I didn't think I was going to like, but I was really surprised by. And then the Kansept is actually quite the opposite. So let's go ahead and bring in the Kansept. So this is the Kansept Vivid. This is one that I was extremely excited about. I really wanted to take a look at this knife. I really wanted to like this knife. I've tried giving this knife as many chances as I can. But it is one that is... It went from being like super excited about this knife to where I don't even think I'm going to buy one. We'll focus on the blue one just because it is my favorite of the two. But we'll take a look here. Well, I mean, I guess we'll go ahead and pull them both out, have them both on the screen, or pull them both out at the same time. So you've got on the blue here, you got their stonewash. And I don't know. I'm assuming it's going to be S35. Most of the higher end Kansepts are. So S35 or 20CV, one of the two. And then you have their carbon fiber. I don't know if they're using any certain type of carbon or if it's something they're using like proprietary. So I always hate to call it, you know, camo carbon or fat carbon and it not be any of those. So again, they're just using some sort of carbon fiber here, which is a really beautiful, you know, almost like an Arctic carbon fiber, even though it doesn't look like that. Interesting pocket clip. So you got a full, you know, pocket clip sticks on the end there. So it is very easily right and left hand friendly without making any ugly marks in the carbon fiber. Ergonomically, it's a good knife. Fits really nicely in the hand. I don't really feel that pocket clip. I know that can be a problem for some folks, and then you do have a really nice choke up spot. A beautiful Wharncliffe blade. So everything about this knife is stuff that I was excited about until I flicked it open, and it is just, it's not horrendous, but I'm so tired of crossbar locks. This knife is showing off the satin blade and their white carbon fiber. And you've got titanium bolsters here. And again, probably an S35 VN blade, but you know, really, again, there's your blade finish, typical Kansept markings. I love this fuller with the blade hole. It looks so good. Both knives, and here's their, I'm guessing they're like a machine satin. And carbon fiber looks really nice. Come on, focus. There we go. Carbon fiber looks really, really nice. Again, you got your all titanium, everything. Fold over pocket clip, which again looks really nice. Your blue carbon fiber looks beautiful. Again, T6 and T8 hardware. T8 pivot, T6 body screws. Really, really good looking knife. Again, almost it is a up to the fuller. It's all flat ground. Finger twirl there, so you've got no issues with a plunge grind. These Wharncliffes are harder to see, but your blade grind looks good. Sharpening grind looks good. Plunge grind, it terminates very quickly. So no issues there. And it is, so there's your blade stop and everything. Getting that crossbar lock. Now if you look down in there, you do see it is an adjustable crossbar lock. So you see your 3 little holes there. So that's another thing is, again, I don't know how far along these are in the prototype stage, but these are an adjustable crossbar lock, but they're not adjustable. So it's on its lightest setting on both knives right now. And if you adjust it up to the next setting up, it renders the knife useless. You can't flick it open. You can't, like I said, it renders the knife inoperable. You can move only one side up, and it still You're still able to operate the knife, but it just absolutely ruins what little bit of action these knives have. So like I said, this is, you see me here, I am manipulating the knife just fine. It does reverse flick out easily. I don't know if I can thumb flick them. Let's see. I can kind of thumb flick it. Just have to give it a little bit of a wrist there, but they slow roll just fine. Like I said, reverse flicks just fine. But the action is, for lack of a better word, mush. I know Kansept can do a proper crossbar lock. The Model 6 that I had was a crossbar lock, and it was substantially better than this in the action department. So I don't really know what the difference is. But where I say that they really missed the mark on these knives is you have a bolster lock opportunity here that is a phenomenal opportunity. This knife could have been perfect. This knife could have literally been, I mean, as close to a perfect knife as you can get. I mean, you have a really nice forefinger, a really nice, full hand grip here, really nice choke up point. I mean, just phenomenal. Even the pocket clip, I mean, like I said, some people it's going to hit their hand wrong. For me, like I said, it doesn't really bother me. Choke up grip, again, you don't really feel it. No jimping on the back, which is fine. If you're not going to, I would rather, kind of like on here, which I get why they had to put it on here because of the front flipper, but I would rather, if I don't have any in my normal grip, then I don't want it at all. So I don't want it in a spot where it's not helpful. So here there's no jimping, which is fine with me because it doesn't matter where I'm at, I'm still got no jimping. But if this thing was a freaking bolster lock, it would be phenomenal. I would if this thing was a bolster lock, I would be begging Lefty to let me buy it. Like, that's how good this knife could have been. There's going to be some crossbar lock fans that just absolutely drool over this thing, and that's fine. Just giving you guys my personal opinion. Now, this specs on this little guy, it's not a heck of a lot bigger, even though it looks it. It's not a heck of a lot bigger than the other knife there, the CJRB. So we're looking at about a 2.5 inch cutting edge, 3-inch blade, 7-inch overall. So again, just in comparison, there is the Vivid next to it. So not a massive difference between the two knives. It is a larger blade than the Vivid, or excuse me, yeah, than the Version. Sorry, the Vivid is a slightly larger blade than the Version. They are, let's see here, 4 ounces to 3.9 ounces. Again, I think this was a miss. I don't know whose idea for the crossbar lock, or where that. I don't know if that was Kansept's idea or Jacob's idea. Either way, I think it was, in my humble opinion, I think it was a miss. I hope it does well for them. It is a beautiful design. I think that should have been a bolster lock. But anyway, guys, again, I wish I could give you more information on them. I don't know anything about when they're going to drop or any of that information, but these knives are coming eventually, or coming soon to these two brands. This one, really excited about. Like I said, that should be a nice budget banger right there. And then you've got the two more premium Kansepts. Again, both from the mountains of Jacob Lundquist. And yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I appreciate y'all for always commenting, liking, and doing what you guys do. Please just remember, be kind, be humble, be EDC. We'll catch you on the next one.